Georgia Republican Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene. Her obsession with Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez really has a more juicy origin story than we originally thought, and now we can sort of see where it all comes from. In a recently released but deleted video from 2019, back when Marjorie Taylor Greene was just a CrossFit lady and hadn't been elected yet, she actually went through the halls of Congress along with some of her MAGA besties, heckling and yelling at some of their least favorite congresspeople like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and watch exactly how she does this.
Come to this little thing and you open it up and you whisper into her.
Session.
This is confession. This is Ocasio confession right here.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, I'm an American citizen. I pay your salary through the taxes that you collect from me through the IRS because I'm a tax-paying citizen of the United States. I'm a woman, I'm a female business owner, and I'm proud to be an American woman. And I do not support your socialist policies, and I do not support your murderous abortion policies.
Hello there.
Hello. Hashtag, where's AOC? I hear you in there.
This is creepy.
It's hide and seek.
This is, huh?
Hide and seek.
It's hide and seek. Tag, you're it. Guess what? You can't stay in there forever. Can you come out and play?
No, everything about that, just know, you guys, that is the scariest trick-or-treaters times 1,000. Cenk, Brian, what were your thoughts when you saw this strategy here?
Yeah, so first, it's amazing what right-wing privilege looks like, right? If I went to Congress and I opened up Kevin McCarthy's mailbox like that or whatever to his door and was like, Kevin, come out and play. Removed from the building instantly. Instantly. There's no conversation about it. They said, security, at some point in all those videos, they said, security's following us. I would hope so, right? And so look, I am a huge believer in real citizens going and interacting with the Congress people. I think 9 out of 10 Congress people, probably higher number, will only meet with you unless you come armed with a giant check, right? So I can't stand the elitism of Congress overall. But if their door is closed and locked, you don't open up the little mail sign and go, come out and play, unless you're a psycho, right?
Yeah, I was just thinking, like, if the roles were reversed, if AOC was caught on camera leaving these creepy, threatening demands to come out of her office, like, as far as right-wing media is concerned, we wouldn't hear the end of it. Like, they made Dr. Seuss a 2-week story for nothing, just like they make everything a 2-week story. You would think that if the roles were reversed and AOC was caught saying what Marjorie Taylor Greene was saying, that it would be right-wing media fodder until late summer. You know what I mean?
100%, and not only that, the Democratic Party would now be considering whether we should remove AOC, et cetera, right? Because they say that she's unhinged. And the Republicans are like, nice job, Marjorie. Man, I didn't know you could yell into a mailbox like that. That was really impressive.
Strong mailbox game.
Yeah.
I want to add, if you guys didn't know, fun fact, one of the people who she was doing this with was actually in the Capitol riot, inside the Capitol. His name is Anthony Aguero. He goes by like conservative live streamer, and I feel a little embarrassed even saying that that's like an occupation. But anyway, she's referred to him, I said bestie, she straight up said, he's one of my best friends. All these posts have been since deleted. Anthony Aguero, by the way, still not been arrested. Photo of him inside the Capitol, never been arrested. These are the people that she's been hanging with well before she got into Congress.
At the end of the day, this is how you succeed on the right. I mean, this is just using AOC is a gifted legislator, orator. This is how you succeed on the right, by becoming a troll against these people. You see it with Ted Cruz, for whatever you can claim that he was in the past. At this point, he's a professional troll. Even the other day during the hearing, when Amy Klobuchar was trying to speak to him, he was busy name searching himself and on Twitter, and the recount matched up the time that Amy Klobuchar was speaking to him, where he was ignoring her, and the time of his tweets, and he was responding to a tweet where he wasn't even tagged in, so he was name searching himself, and that's what he was doing. I mean, these people live for Twitter.com, but I think the important thing here is to know that, as far as AOC is concerned, she's not going to debate you, she's not going to legitimize you, she's not going to validate your antics. And for Marjorie Taylor Greene, you just look really desperate and really thirsty doing what you're doing.
As I saw the guy that wound up storming the Capitol on January 6th, I thought two things. This was in a sense a dry run for that. So this was back in 2019 when they did this. And then secondly, if Marjorie Taylor Greene hadn't won her congressional election, what do you think the chances are that she would have been part of the riots? I put it at about 98%, right?
Yeah.
And so, and by the way, we might find out she still was, right? There was the reports about how she was getting information to the people who were in the building. Well, one of her best friends was in the building, the guy she made that video with. So would you be surprised to find out that she was giving him, thoughts on where Pelosi or AOC might be? I don't know, we'll see. We'll see how that one goes. But look, it's interesting the way Francesca said it. It's her origin story, right? And so it kind of, in this case, I guess the Legion of Doom origin story. This is one of the characters. But everyone in the Legion of Doom in the right-wing side, they're all trolls now. Why? Because they're looking up to King Troll, Donald J. Troll. And he got to be president by literally yelling at Rosie O'Donnell and Madonna and everyone that he could think of, and then all the Democrats and all the Republicans. And politicians are doing what politicians do. They're just copying what was successful. They're cheesy. They're not authentic. Even Marjorie Taylor Greene, in her psychotic state, you would think would be at least authentic, like, oh, she's authentically mental, right? Not exactly, because remember, she was the QAnon one, right? Oh, I'm so concerned about child sex trafficking. She's currently on tour with Matt Gaetz, accused of child sex trafficking. So no authenticity, just nothing but trolling.
I love Cenk actually imagining that, she's not like a real cute person. That there's like a difference between those who have cognitive dissonance and those who don't. No, they believe a lie. But I want to just get AOC's response, because she was asked outside the Capitol or outside her offices. She was asked today about her thoughts about this unearthed video and what she felt sort of on the receiving end of this. Let's take a look.
It seems as though she had been posting some video. I mean, this is a woman that's deeply unwell and clearly needs some help. And her kind of fixation has lasted for several years now. It's at this point, I think the depth of that unwellness has raised concerns for other members as well. And so, I think that this is an assessment that needs to be made by the proper professionals.
She said she wasn't going to stop debating you when asked was yesterday or challenging you to debate.
Yeah, it's she does keep discussing this, but it's not a thing, and so I'm concerned about her perceptions of reality.
This is my favorite, you guys. Before you jump in, I just want to say, it's not a thing, which is she's referring to the fact that Marjorie Taylor Greene has been going around saying that AOC will debate her on the Green New Deal, and she agreed to a meeting and she agreed to this debate, and it's like, oh honey, it's not a thing. I really wish I had time for your shenanigans, but I got legislating to do. In fact, you should probably be doing the same. Anyway, never said yes. Yikes! It's such a Mean Girls but very, very warranted dunk on this unhinged woman.
That's exactly. I was thinking of Mean Girls the entire time. I was like, ooh, keep trying to make this debate happen. It is never going to happen.
Yeah. So look, as I said on yesterday's show, Marjorie Taylor Greene, if you want, I'll be your Huckleberry. So come debate me. See how that turns out for you. But she won't do that because she's trying to find a way to pick a fight, honestly, with a bigger star, right? So why? Because it's all about the attention game, and she's trying to get that attention. Now, me versus her would be interesting, and there is no other context for it other than a debate that somebody would have to moderate, right? But if Marjorie Taylor Greene actually wanted to debate AOC, I got great news for her. That's the whole point of Congress. You could debate her on the floor of the House on not only any given bill, every bill. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to go and debate the bills. Problem solved. Marjorie, don't worry about it. This one's on me, okay?
Absolutely. Now I really want to go see the Warrior, like watch the Warriors again, just like the Warriors come out to play. Because like her and her little besties they channeled the Warriors so well.
Yeah.
That's all of it. They were like, when they stormed the Capitol, they were like, Nancy, it just, so creepy.
Totally,
So
but one super last thing. Look, don't do like she did and try to, with the doors locked, move on with your life. Don't scream into mailboxes, don't be a lunatic, etc. But Marjorie Taylor Greene now is a United States Congresswoman. And so if you wanted to stop by and question her, she apparently, you got it on tape right there. She thinks that if you're an American citizen, everybody should be able to come in and take up her time. So go take up her time. Everybody go, she wants to debate progressives, line up at her office and ask for meetings. One after another, after another, after another. She thinks that's the right thing to do. Okay, you could be her huckleberry.
Yeah. I know you guys talked a little bit about the investigation into January 6th, and I'm of the mind that like Marjorie Taylor Greene has got 6 months most. Like I think she needs to be gone. Like as much as this is funny to me, it's also insanely scary, right? And the fact that these are the same people that stormed the Capitol on the 6th is important. So I just want to name that like it's not all fun. It's so silly, but it actually obviously like all Trump world, it's satirical / murderous. And so I don't think, and Nancy Pelosi's come out and has talked about like her tactics in terms of screaming at AOC in the hallways, in terms of revealing Nancy's location on January 6th, like we talked about. So look, I hope a line is drawn here. I wonder by whom, and I hope Republicans know this is making them look real bad and even crazier than they already do.
But Francesca, since you used the word murders, I just want to be clear. In that same exact visit where they were screaming at AOC, she was carrying a petition calling for the arrest and execution of Nancy Pelosi for treason.
Yeah.
Okay, so and on Facebook, she called for the execution of many Democrats, John Kerry, Pelosi. I lost track of all of them. So that was real. I mean, look, if you didn't figure out that she's actually mentally unwell when she talked about Jewish space lasers on Facebook and how they're used to burn up forests, calling for the execution of politicians in America is actionable, right? Like there should be some legal consequence. You can't normally, like if a left winger called for the execution of any right wing politician, they would be arrested on the spot and spend a lot of time in prison. She's walking around the halls of Congress. So that's a reality.
Yeah, I think like the thing to remember is we see these politicians like Donald Trump before he became president, and it's easy to disparage them because they're so ridiculous, so absurd, like just such a laughingstock, until the point where you realize that there's no barrier to entry on the right, and that's why you have them fail all the way to the top. You have Donald Trump who became president, you have the Marjorie Taylor Greenes and Matt Gaetzes and Jim Jordans who just fail all the way up, and so there does come a point where you have to acknowledge that, like, yes, on one hand it's ridiculous and pathetic and a little bit funny, but then on the other hand, like, these are the people who they have in power, who they've elevated to positions of power where they're actually responsible for crafting legislation, if they have any interest in doing that beyond just tweeting on Twitter. But I think one other thing that it does is underscore the importance of a bill like HR1, S1, the For the People Act, because the gerrymandered districts are what gives way to having these, these insane politicians like that who are able to run so far to the right that it'd be a shock that they don't fall off a cliff. So, having these districts where there's not even a sense of moderation gives way to these far right lunatics.
Yeah, and I just want to double down on what Brian's saying. Such a good point. Remember, the Republican voters chose Marjorie Taylor Greene after they knew that she believed in QAnon and a lot of these insane conspiracy theories came out in the press. They had no problems with that. So, and they didn't make Donald Trump the president on the Republican side out of an accident. Their madness is not the bug, it's the feature. So like Trump didn't win like local mayor or something like that. He's not like as lowly as Pete Buttigieg. Like he won president of the United States of America, and he's the craziest one of them all. So Marjorie Taylor Greene, if unobstructed because of some legal issues, she will rise up to be, and she already is. She's raising more money than almost any other Republican in Congress. And Trump is talking about how she could be the next Trump, and Republican voters are here for it. We see crazy, they see awesome. They see the lunacy of Marjorie Taylor Greene, and they're like, yes, finally somebody talking about the Jewish space lasers and yelling in the mailboxes. So that's what's happened to the Republican Party in this country. They've lost their minds. That's a reality. Thanks for watching The Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.